Impact TV ki Manipuri abroad haiba program da adombu taramna okcheri yengbirisi Diaspora Speak ni ngasi khoi gi Diaspora Speak ki episode asida koina pujaragi yet another young man UK da citizenship lauraga social work tauraga laiba adungba naha amani kangpok pidagini originally adubu hauji oinadi UK da citizenship lauduna London da settle tauraga lairaba Chon Min Lien gangteni. Welcome to the show, Chon Min Lien.
Thank you very much.
Chon Min Lien si mayamna lovingly Lien gangti na ten na dum kawi chahi tramari muk sure ma London da lairaga tongan ba charity works amasung khoigi social works tauba loinena khoigi European Manipuri Association da yamna active member oiba adugumba naha mani apart from khoigi London da leriba Manipuri diaspora mayam punjhallaga thabak tharam tawminabada natana back home khoi kangpok pidasu Manipur da su tongan ba school children gi marakta akhoi pro bono da thabak toriba adum naha mani social work tawdana akhoi angang singda inspire tawno honriba adum naha mani recently half marathon na kangpok pida akhoi angang singi lamjen amasu singi da ngairi very interesting personality haitare lone na maksi global traveler haitare yam koiba tongan magi thabak sina tongan ba lam mayam ma koiba adum naha mani. So let's meet him. Okay, gangte how has it been this kaitare handaki chahi se it's a 2016 how bani vacation da laira Manipur thore is kari purpose na handaki
Actually, vacation. It's a vacation. Also, egi project anilay hujik se kam pida kangui hope haina angang sing school ka bagi. Aduga I'm also starting a new project. It's an environmental awareness project.
Okay.
We are building a community park in an area of 50 acres.
Okay.
So I'm kind of
Kangpopida.
Yes, I'm heading the project, and it's challenging, but hopefully we will get there.
So kano koi vacation aduga plus sida sukhara vacation matam da environmental gine adu angang si lakpane ba. Otherwise akoi gi UK da haitare you've been there for last 14 years jai tramri am sang matam ne current kari work tawi mayam tawriba akoi gi professional una haitare ko how do you fund yourself haitare UK zi later nina.
Well, my last job was I was working for a charity which is for homeless people in East London, and that's how I funded my life basically. So I gave up that role for a while since last March. My mom passed away, and I had to come home immediately.
Okay.
So so I'm still doing a lot of charity work within my personal life, and hopefully when I go back in May to London or to Europe, I will do similar job. But right now I came here to start my community park project in
UK citizenship law adu but Indian citizenship kan tor dual labor what's the
Indian citizenship dual si law yade adugi I gave up my Indian passport, and the Indian High Commission gave me an OCI card, which is Overseas Citizens of India card, which gives me more or less the same right. I can't purchase agricultural land, so I don't need that anyway. So.
Okay. Okay. Tell us something about your early education.
I started my education in Kangpopi only. And from class 5, I went to appear in one of those Navodaya exam. So fortunately, I got through, and I became part of the Navodaya family, the first Navodaya family in Manipur.
Okay.
And
so first batch never Navodaya.
Yes.
Navodaya karagi no. Navodaya main no.
Mao.
Oh, Maugi. So Maugi Navodaya da class 10 bau tame. Okay.
So I studied there till class 10, and then class 11 and 12 I moved to Kakching to do arts.
Okay.
And
same Navodaya group.
Navodaya, yes. And in 2000 1994, I moved to Delhi to pursue my graduation, and then I became a student of Delhi University. I studied English honors in Khalsa College, Delhi University.
Okay. So, imong manung di kamay tawbo no. How many children are there?
I have a brother. It's we are a family of a single mother family, basically. So
your father passed away. You're
no,
a mixed parent, is that?
I have a mixed parent. My father was a Métis, and he left us when we were very little. So I had very little memory of my father. So basically, I grew up with my mom only, and I ended up taking her name instead of my father's name. That's how I became.
So you became a gangte.
Yes.
Okay.
So, no regrets there.
Okay.
Life has been very challenging, of course, and so I remember when I was a school student, you know, I got sent back from school because my mom couldn't pay the fees, and a lot of things like that. So.
And you were how many brothers then?
I have one brother.
Only, so that's
brother,
the only. So you only two of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's younger than me. So yeah. So we had a very challenging childhood, but then we've done well, I guess. So.
Okay. Ado kano loira matungda Nabodia dagi loira matungda Delhi DU chatle. Then kari no DU dagi then your journey to London either go.
So when I was in Delhi University, I started getting involved with the Cookie worship service in Delhi, and somehow I became quite active, and I got referred to this charity called Care Force. And in 2002, I was sent to the UK to do a gap year program, and that's how I started my life in the UK, and I never looked back.
So you went for a gap program, and then you stayed on.
Yes.
Hanna nangi career option di kadi oiki hatare. Akoi mi si khanmana ama oirakpa in your case also I think karigumam di khalam gani angang nge da IC mo oige aduma oige kan di khalam gani.
Career option hai basidi akoi kambo tribal Manipur ge tribal mark the civil service hoina.
Okay.
Option tar bani do.
The civil service nang ju pam
A lot of people had aims about I want to become an IAS officer, I want to become an IFS officer.
You also wanted to become one of those.
Somehow I thought I wanted to become, but then again I changed, people changed, and I realized when I was in Delhi that I would get very bored working in an office 9 to 5. So then I started venturing.
More exciting way.
Yes. I wanted my life to be a bit more exciting, and I started getting involved with a lot of other charities, and right after my graduation, I had a few years of work experience in hotels and shops in Delhi, and in 2000 when there was a big earthquake in Gujarat, I went to do relief work for 3 weeks, and since then I became interested in charity work and helping people. So that's how
So you made a career out of it also.
Somehow, yes,
yeah.
I have. Yeah.
But you get the imaga ichinao ani khatani. The decision to become the UK citizen. Other laige other kanto gezi kitang karadi lakpuno. Well, a lot of people work there, but
I think it was quite easy for me because the thing is we had no choice here in Manipur, and unfortunately in Manipur, if you don't have family backup or a good background,
a lot of money,
yes, things doesn't work, and it was a blessing for us. For me to have that opportunity to venture out.
But you could still go and work there, but why take the citizenships in the compulsion at any point in time, or
compulsion so I like traveling, and traveling with an Indian passport is a big hassle.
Okay.
So when I got a chance to become British, I took it, and of course I had to speak with my mom about this before she passed away, saying that I wanted to take this citizenship, and she had no problem because she was an independent woman, and she was quite happy to be at home in Kangpopi doing her own business, and she was quite more than happy for me to go and visit her once or twice a year.
So adale hitu kasu kai die.
Yes.
Okay. More importantly, you got a passport that every country respects, where you can just get a visa easily.
127 countries.
So you travel 127 countries?
Not yet.
Not yet.
That's the aim.
That's the aim. Kya adi travel to yet?
So far, I've done 19 countries.
19 countries.
And it will
127, still counting.
Yeah.
Yamdi watli.
Yeah,
But we'll come to that. Kanuki akogi UK da yaure laikanji da citizenship own bagise. Kari hassles like libra. Lot of akogi haitare ko Manipur gisu we are coming across this program haitare UK da thabuk toba US da thabuk toba Mojadum settle down in Museum, some of them after some time, Sidamuk Imaleva is long in the perhaps when we select the Hang Puyai, what's your final destination? Huziki, you are UK citizen. Citizenship law to Kamantoki, Libra, Lubra, process Kamantoki.
Libra it's not an easy process. And of course, you cannot have any criminal records, and you have to be a good citizen. What happened was that I lived in the UK for 10 years, and then I qualified to be a citizen.
Okay, you have to have lived there for 10 years?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, if you are on a work permit, and there are different varieties of how you qualify. So basically, for some people it takes 5 years, but those are the people who are very qualified, like doctors or you know, IT or bankers and stuff like that. For me, I think I started off very humbly, you know, from the beginning, so I had to take 10 years, and it has become more and more difficult to become a European citizen, and even to get visas now, because there's a lot of cut downs, and there's a lot of restrictions. Even students who would come there and work part-time cannot do that anymore, so it has become quite difficult. But then it's not impossible. It's still possible if you are determined, if you are qualified, if you want to work hard. But I think United Kingdom or Europe, for that matter, is not a place for lazy people.
Okay.
You really have to work hard. You really have to
if you want to settle there, if you want to work there, you have to work hard. Not a place for lazy people. That's a good, nice one. Huziksi, this whole issue of, you know, this ISIS and this, you know, the crisis in the Middle East, migration ki problem, in last couple of years of your life in UK, the immigrant mayam sida yeng mi kitang di hongbra natraga close friend circle that didum khang bayai ko. But when you meet some people on the metros or tube, as you call it, chamina kanji the Asian gi look kangba kanulak lak para racial kanu si labor later.
Hoigi Southeast Asian look have Oriental look have see the problem later it was a power. But when you have looks like a Pakistani or other Indian looks, then there are some problems. Fortunately for us, no, we don't have problems. Oriental look like it's a benefit for us. Even for jobs also, people are more respectful. People are a bit more friendly towards you. So you know, it's never been a problem in terms of racism.
Earlier, you were when we were talking, you said something about Thai man, bagi Japanese man, bagi restaurant of the China, Delhi, the employee to bagi just tell us the story.
That was in Delhi actually. So right after my degree, I had no choice but to go and look for a job, because my brother was coming to Delhi to do his degree, and my mom cannot support two guys in Delhi, so I had to go and look for a job. And I saw this advertisement, apprentice at Moria Sheraton, and I thought, well, let's go and try out. Moria Sheraton, the apprentice korokpa. So I went there, and a lot of people asked me at the gate saying, do you have any reference? I said, no, I don't. And they said in Hindi, like, kuch nahi banega, something like that. So nothing's going to happen for you. But I was determined to get into the HR office. And finally, I got there. So I had an interview with the HR manager and the chef. And when they saw me, and they asked me a lot of things. And then I think one of the benefit was that I look like Chinese.
Okay.
And I speak English.
Your only qualification was that you look
That's
like a
it, yeah.
Chinese.
I don't have any hotel management background or nothing, and I was sent to the most reputed sort of
Prestigious
yes,
five-star
restaurant,
hotels.
yes,
And
upstairs, and I served there as one of the waiter without any training, and
just because you look like Oriental.
exactly. So
Okay.
it's a benefit.
Okay. You also Thai rest kanuma always who have it.
So I worked there for a year and a half, and then after that there was a Thai lady. She was working for Thai Airways, and she wanted to open a Thai restaurant, and she wanted somebody who has a
Thai kind of look.
yes, plus a hotel
Okay.
experience.
Hotel management
Yeah.
experience labor. So Sheraton was your experience.
Sheraton was my
I think the
experience.
Sheraton jang matamda you have to bring a lot of experience of other hotels.
Yes.
Now you had a Sheraton
So I've
experience.
used Sheraton as my passport
Okay.
to become a manager of this Thai restaurant in South Extension in New Delhi. So yes, that
Okay, you
was
know Sheraton prestigious thado oga kano zakrise mope or was it what was it that
no, actually, Sheraton Thado Pudu. It was because I had to come home
okay
because of
you
my
took a
mom's
break
health, yes.
break logo.
And then when I got back, suddenly a new opportunity came. So that's how I took up the restaurant.
How did you link up with this Thai women?
It was through a friend actually, a Nepali friend, and so they were like looking for people who have restaurants, and the Nepali guy unfortunately didn't look like Thai.
Okay.
So he said, okay, I know somebody who looks who are looking for somebody who looks like Thai but speaks English. So so looking like Thai or looking like Chinese has got me 2 jobs in my life. So I'm very
Okay,
happy.
okay. So London the Asian looking okay plus point, right?
It's a plus point, I would say.
Chalakanda adjustment ahanba okay adjustment tawkanda from the heat of Delhi to the cold of London. Adjustment kamain we culturally, socially. I'm to that you are also very active in the Manipuri diaspora circuit also.
So initially, I mean, it wasn't too much with the weather actually, because but I think when I moved to London in the UK, the whole experience was very different. You know, the food was different, the manners were different, and even things like shower, toilet, and even cooking something, you know, everything was different. It took me about two months to actually adjust with the lifestyle. The language was different because I was in South Wales, and it was pretty sort of, because the Welsh accent, Welsh accent is it's like a sing-song thing, you know.
Okay.
So they use a lot of love, you know. Okay. How are you, love? And hello, love, you know. So love is a very dear kind of thing. And I got really confused because there was a couple of ladies who would just call me love, and then for me love was...
And you could misinterpret it.
Yes, love has a
romantic
connotation. So I thought something's happening, and finally I had a clarification from my chaplain, so everything was fine.
And that's the way they speak. I think now we can remember.
But they're very friendly people. Very.
Did you
friendly.
pick up that accent? Accent to pick up the overall?
Not the Welsh accent, no. I think I have never picked up any accent over the years. I don't think I have. Some people do. Some of my friends, even some Manipuri friends who have lived in Scotland or Liverpool and Manchester, they kind of suddenly picked up their accent. Okay. But somehow I never...
Tell us about the diaspora there. Me kam lay family kam.
I'm very involved with the cookie community. We do things like Koot celebrations and stuff like that. And I'm also involved with IMA. IMA is the European Manipuri Association. And so there's quite a considerable number of people.
So you are comfortable both sides. You, I think, I
go everywhere. I go everywhere where food is. So
you like eating?
I love eating. I love cooking.
Cooking.
So I go everywhere. The first, when I was in Wales and in a year in Bournemouth, I had very little contact with people from Northeast India. And when I moved to London, I find it very lonely. You know, London is a big city. It's very lonely. And then somehow I discovered Facebook. So from Facebook, I decided to start a group called Friends of Northeast India, and it became a very successful group because it became a platform for
So
all
thanks
Northeast
to
Indian.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yes, thanks to him, we have now managed to coordinate with each other, and I've organized a lot of things like picnic, Christmas social, sports and stuff like that. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. You also made Medicom when she came for the
Yes, when she
London
came for her
Olympics.
bout, we went and had lunch with her, and
you cheered for her.
I didn't
Yeah.
go for the boxing match because unfortunately I'm not a very good, a big fan of sports,
Okay.
of like football and boxing and stuff like. I love tennis.
Okay.
I'm a very regular visitor of Wimbledon tennis for the last 5 years.
You play tennis?
I play tennis as well, but I'm not very good. So
Okay.
I won't challenge anybody, but yes, I can play tennis. I didn't go for the boxing because I get really nervous when looking at
People
watching-
getting punched.
Yes. That's not my idea of game, so I don't. But yes, I went, had lunch with her and supported her in every ways. And we also had a reception for her with Ima in a nice cafe in London, and so we had a lovely time. Mary Com and what's the other guy's name? The other boxer from Manipur. So yes, we had a lovely time.
But we'll take a short break here, but when we come back, we'll talk more about other Chaba, Kari community Tauba. Then we also hear that you're also you do a lot of traveling. We'll bring that to you after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. I'm BDC Manipuri abroad ni, and this is Diaspora Speak. Nasi hui Diaspora Speak ta linguist lien gangte UK ge citizen ni social work to bani. Break mangda pet kanubudi wari sare ko koi gi lien ge to. But little bit more about your work hai tare ko. UK da to riba thabak thoram sing do kari ge no charity work as a what are the background hai tare organization kamain to pa sidagi any karang bomna hekka chatlaga thabak si tobu yabra natraga kamain chang if someone from here wants to join the kind of work that you're doing kamain to we.
Well, my first job was with a church. I did children work and youth work with a church in South Wales, and it's all to do with community service. And so my second year, I was working for a day center for people with learning difficulties, and that's how I picked up interest in autism. And then I went on to study social care for 2 years. So that was my initial years of voluntary service in the UK. And in 2005, I got an offer to work for a charity in London for homeless people in East London. So I worked there for about 9 years.
Homeless, yam labra, kamain to we.
Homeless, I say, moi saying that the homeless oidida. I mean, the culture in the UK is that once you are 16 years old, you are responsible for yourself.
Okay.
So if you don't
So
get
the parents depend on it. So you take care of yourself in ever. It's your life now.
Although if you don't get a job, then you become homeless, or you become, so it's like a system where you if you don't,
parent ka laita prasini. Parent ka dim
parents
laiba.
kadi labor sule, but I think most of these guys who says they are homeless are the people who doesn't want to listen to their parents and they want to move out. And we had a lot
Independently pamba, but ma support system di laita ba.
later.
Okay. Adu say da koi government side te ki some social security ko labra.
Hoy adu le adu. So what we do is that we set up a system. So a lot of these young people, they have no skills, no life skills, no employment skills. So what we do is we have a hostel. So about three hostels for men, young men. So my role was to actually interview these guys and then also check with them whether they are serious about looking for a job or what do they want to do in life. So I sort of give them tips on how to attend an interview, how to write their CV, and how to cook and things like that. So it's a big role and very interesting. So
the point is get them to get employed.
Yeah, get them back so the government does a lot.
Siki support NGO government support
the government pays the rent for the hostel.
It's kind of social welfare department of India structure never.
And then so you cannot be homeless and unemployed for more than 6 months.
Okay.
If you are, then you forfeit part of your benefit. So there are some penalties for not looking for jobs seriously. Okay. So basically, our job is to push them so that they are employable. So we set up training programs with big companies like HSBC, Marks and Spencers, and so basically we have to literally hold their hands and just take them to work.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah. So yeah.
So unemployed issue later.
There's a lot of unemployment. Part of the reason is pure laziness. Part of the issue is that too many people, especially in London. So, but the thing is, you don't get Indians as homeless.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing about Indian people. The last 9-10 years I've worked with this charity. I've never.
It's all whites.
There are some whites, there's some blacks,
okay.
There are a lot of Bangladeshis, and there's a lot of Eastern Europeans. So yeah.
Basically immigrants.
Immigrants mainly.
Citizen waiters who nangi kano si phangbra nugi services.
If you're a European citizen, yes. Say for example, if you're under European Union, then you can actually come and access the service. Or else if you're British. Yeah. So when we're talking about immigrants, they are the second generation immigrants. Okay. So basically their parents have already become citizens and they are now British, but they have an immigrant background. So
some portion forfeited.
Yes. So they get something called job seekers allowance. So if they don't get a job within 6 months, then about 15% of the job seekers allowance is deducted. And then if they don't get in a year, then there's a penalty for not getting a job. And
ultimately for years 2-3 years, yes. What's the ultimate fate?
The government will then say to them that fine, you have made yourself homeless, you have made yourself unemployed, so we don't have any, unless you are medically unfit. So basically people who have medical issues, then they get exemptions. But then if you're fit to work, and if you're happy to look for jobs and stuff like that, and then
government will support you.
Yes.
No support. So what happens to those people?
Some people turns to alcohol. Some people turns to sleeping rough on the street, and then again they have to move on to another project and then register there again. So it's a cycle.
Okay.
So they move from one project to another.
Duplication though.
Like
Noigi project to another project to there must be a link up.
There's a lot of effort to link these projects up so that the same person doesn't play the game. But loopholes are there. So
loopholes are there. Displaced as you are, like most sidagi general environment displaced like you said, lonely feel the need for you to reach out.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about the programs that you do for community culture preserve social Narakanda, Warakanda, Yangjaminaba, Haraminabagi, Karigano European Manipur Association, how deeply engaged are you in those situations?
I mean, big cities like London can be very lonely if you don't know people, and so basically we have a lot of associations, especially like IMA. So what happens is that we organize gatherings like Nimon Chakoba, we have IMA, an annual gathering, and and then we have a Yahoo group where everybody interacts with each other. If there's any new member, the person who knows this person introduce them to the group so that they get they get to interact with other people. And on top of that, again, coming back to Friends of Northeast India, so it's a group on Facebook, so a lot of people can go and post informations and introduce themselves and stuff like that. So,
so casual visitor, suppose coming for the first time in London, connect on this Facebook is available.
Facebook is available, Friends of Northeast India, and then IMA, European Manipuri Association. Just join.
But most of you people must be busy. How do you take time out and how far, Sidagi academic maybe small trip, just want to connect connect.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think people who are busy, they will always be busy. People who makes time for people will always make time for people.
So you have been able to make time?
I have fortunately been able to make time for a lot of people. I've connected a lot of Naga people with their Naga friends. I have a lot of connected Sikkimese people with their Sikkimese friends somehow, I don't know. And even the Manipuri Meitei friends, there's a lot of people who come and then they won't know any other Meitei people. And so I would just introduce them to IMA Yahoo group, and then they would then again get in touch, and so yeah.
Okay, interesting. Traveling jump to so tell us about your.
I love traveling. Within the first 2 years of my life in the UK, I did very little traveling because financially I wasn't able to do that. So since I started doing some work, I began a little bit of traveling, and as I was on Indian passport, I was again very limited, options, and
visa
so the interesting was that if you have an Indian passport and a British visa, you could go to Switzerland without a visa.
Okay.
So funny enough, I went to Switzerland for 11 times. And then slowly I venture out, and I've been to about 19 countries, including Greece, Portugal, France, Belgium, Holland, Norway, and Slovenia. A lot of other places.
Is it just work? Just
purely pleasure, traveling, because my it doesn't involve traveling. It's to do with East London only. So I had no options to travel for work. But I went to Germany partly for work because I've always been interested in food and cooking and stuff like that. So there was a big show in Germany. So I went to attend the trade fair, partly work and partly pleasure. So that was very interesting.
Cooking je vocation na lokake khalibra.
Hoy. Somehow I'm very interested to actually explore the cooking of Manipur and then see if I can transfer them into Delhi, London. I don't know, maybe. Singzu is very popular.
Okay.
I'm not very good, but then my version of Singzu has become very popular among my European friends, so I'm very proud of that.
Singzu suro ma'am kor pijare.
Iron was yam popular.
Han givada matal ma'am pu doira. Pue. Okay. Favorite Singzu di kari Singzu no. Thambo kari.
So the Thambo, we get them in Chinatown in London. So and then we have Thambo and we have Hawaii Maton?
Hawaii Maton.
Yes. So those are the two, that when those two comes together.
Hawaii Maton jam pam na
is it? It has become a very a new kind of salad, It was never popular in Europe actually. But recently they've realized that pea shoot, they call it pea shoots. So it's become quite popular. And there you can get them in supermarkets now.
Hawaii Maton je?
Yes.
Supermarket. Kamai yole? In terms of kilo,
no, it comes in a plastic pack. And it's about 200 grams. And it's for about 2 pounds.
2 pounds.
Yam tang.
ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯏꯁꯩ ꯄꯨꯔ ꯌꯣꯟꯖꯩꯅꯦ
ꯍꯣꯏ
ꯕꯣꯔꯥꯗ ꯈꯔ ꯄꯨꯈꯤ ꯌꯥꯅꯤ what about ꯑꯇꯣꯞꯄ ꯃꯆꯜ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯁꯤꯗ ꯁꯤꯟꯅꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯕꯦꯁꯣꯟ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ
besan see I do you know that chana
Uh-huh.
I don't know what you call the gram chana so I crush them and then I take with myself a lot of toiding
Okay.
so I mix all those ngari and yeah we get umarok as well in London
ꯎꯃꯣꯔꯣꯛ ꯐꯪꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯅꯠꯇ꯭ꯔ ꯏꯁꯩ ꯄꯨꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ
sidagi pubusu yai ado so we get
ꯄꯨꯕꯗ ꯏꯃꯤꯒ꯭ꯔꯦꯁꯟꯗ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯕ꯭ꯂꯦꯝ ꯂꯩꯇ꯭ꯔꯣ ꯁꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ
ngari si leite
Ngari,
sa delay meat product delay so I was caught in London once
ꯀꯔꯤ ꯄꯨꯔꯨꯕꯒꯦ
dry meat
ꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯄꯤꯕ
Hoi. What happened was I had this dry meat and I had some dairy product as well. But I had also had a box full of ngari, you know, fried and mixed with chili, very smelly. So this immigration guy, he started searching my bag and then I said to him, oh, I've got some dry meat. And he said, no, dry meat you can't. He took it away. So when
Dry fish is okay.
when it came to ngari, I said, this is dry fish. It's my traditional food. And he just, I said, if I am you, I won't open this. So I asked him not to open the thing. And he didn't. He didn't open. He said, okay, if it's fish, I'll trust you and just take it with you. So
Okay.
ngari was saved that day.
ꯍꯥꯡꯇꯣꯛꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯕ꯭ꯂꯦꯝ ꯑꯃ ꯊꯣꯛꯑꯦ
Thokani.
What about ꯍꯋꯥꯏ ꯆꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ
Hawai cha se
ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯒꯦꯁ ꯐ꯭ꯔꯣꯝ ꯑꯣꯔꯤꯌꯦꯟꯇꯦꯜ ꯁꯥꯏꯗꯇꯗꯤ ꯇꯥꯏꯋꯥꯅꯤꯁ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ
Moigi Chinese ke male.
ꯑꯗ ꯌꯨꯔꯣꯞꯇꯗꯤ ꯈꯤꯇꯪ ꯋꯥꯔꯝꯗꯧ ꯃꯥꯜꯂꯦ
Chinese Chinatown na khara lay Hawai cha se, but they call it black beans. It's not as smelly as the Hawai cha here. But we get them. A lot of people who come from Northeast
So you
India,
make do with it?
Yes. No, some people they make it themselves. There's a friend of mine. He is married to a Naga. He's from New Lumberland. So they make Hawai char for themselves.
ꯑꯥꯗꯗꯨ
Hoi.
Okay. ꯁ꯭ꯋꯥꯏꯒ ꯃꯥꯟꯅꯕ꯭ꯔꯣ
Manade ado is dum sabu yai.
ꯅꯪ ꯐꯨꯗ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯁꯦꯁꯤꯡꯁꯨ ꯏꯟꯇꯔꯦꯁ ꯑꯣꯏ ꯃꯥꯜꯂꯦ you got all these jams and ꯀꯩꯒꯤꯅꯣ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯁꯥꯕꯗꯣ
Hoi. I have developed a lot of interest in cooking. So I make jams, I bake a lot. And basically I cook a lot. So a lot of my work here is funded by me cooking in London, holding charity dinners.
Okay.
So I cook ironba, singsu,
Okay.
and all these curries, and I have.
ꯑꯍꯩꯕ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯤꯜꯗꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯊꯥꯊꯔꯒ then you call people, make them pay for the dinner, and that's the fund that you raise for doing all this good
Yes,
work.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's come to this ꯅꯪꯒꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯀꯥꯡꯄꯣꯛꯄꯤꯒꯤ project ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯦ. How is it being funded? ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯔꯤꯅꯣ?
So basically in 2008 when I got my work permit, then I started earning a regular salary and I said to myself, I want to do something for my people. And so I came home and then so coming back just reminded me about my childhood. And then a lot of kids were playing, that it was about midday and then there were some kids not going to school and stuff like that. So I took the decision that I want to start something. So I funded about 3 girls with my own salary to go to school. And in 2010, when I came back for Christmas, a lot of families came and they said, oh, can you help us also? Can you help this girl? Can you help this boy? So instead of giving any promise to these people, I went back to London and I wrote an email to some of my friends. I said, I've been doing this for the last couple of years, 3 girls. Now I want to expand. Who is anybody interested? And within a couple of weeks, I raised about £700. So that's how I started. But the whole project, the fundraising is done by me. And then if I don't do it, I don't get funds. So basically, I have charity dinners twice a year in London. So I cook and I invite friends and they pay for the dinner.
Who are these friends?
Friends from London all over. I have friends from Spain, Canada, Germany, French, English, and even people from Northeast India itself.
Your cooking?
Yes, it has been quite. I have been quite known for my singsu.
What's the reaction to umorok?
No, I have to tone down the chili because if it's too hot, they can't eat it.
Okay.
And so once I made singju with the real hotness for an
Original singju.
English family, and then they didn't like it. But next time I toned down the chili and they loved it. So that's how you learn, you know, cooking for other people. But yes, Manipuri food, I think if you invest or do a bit more, you know, alteration, I think it will do very well across the world. I mean, because new food are becoming quite famous now. Burmese food was never.
So then, who's charity tokanjida? Do you specify the kind of food that you're going to give?
Yes,
like
I only
Manipuri food. Pido any sigi can the charities in Hybrid.
I only cook food from Manipur, yeah.
Okay.
Like chagem pomba, you know, the tribal style.
You do that.
Singju, and then you know.
Manam nammi kholi.
I mean.
It doesn't smell, is that?
Yeah, it doesn't smell. I mean, it smells, but then again, the house I'm cooking are people from Manipur only, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. Adu nate nagi guess ma'am do. Palatable way brasi ni moida.
Hoy, chai adum.
Chagi mom chai.
Especially
your friends from French, Spain.
Hoy doctor Malay or Dr. Robert Haina Wales tagi. Magi favorite is Iran mani.
Okay.
My kud lao kari gathering lao Iran ba chadar di my hanning de.
So you're addicted then.
Yes, yeah. They love their Iran ba, yes.
Okay. So adugi funduna now what are your plans in Kangpo?
So right now I have 12 children. Right now I have 12 children. So they are going to school. I'm only funding their educational expenses. I mean, I have no plans to increase the numbers because I don't want to make it too big and fail. So I want to keep it small, and then I want to give them the promise I made, you know. So I want to at least see them through class 11 or 12.
Criteria economic status?
Yes, economic status. One of them is an orphan. A lot of them are single parents, all unemployed basically. But people who likes to study. It used to be about 14. So what I've done is like the first year it was okay, whether they perform or not. So and then for those people who doesn't perform, I gave them a warning, said if you don't perform, then we can't fund you because I don't want to be wasting money on people who doesn't want to study. So from 14, 15, it's come down to 13, and now it's 12. Not that I don't want to support them, but then again, if
they have to give back equally.
Yeah, exactly. So they have if they don't perform, if they don't study hard, then there's no point in me. And
you have a particular school where you send these kids, or
there are 4 schools. 4 schools.
4 schools. You're going to type though.
Yeah.
So these are.
They are Lighthouse Academy in Kangpopi, and one is Diamond English School, one is Kids Foundation, and another one is in Kaithiamanbi. It's called another Hope Academy or something like that. Yeah.
So parents are free to choose from these schools, or natraga schools nanga type bra.
What happens is that.
Or you have got nothing to do with the school. Parents' choice.
No, actually, it depends on the proximity.
Okay.
So a lot of kids. Most of the kids are in Lighthouse because some of these kids are quite close to Lighthouse, and some goes to Diamond. And the girl who goes to Kids Academy is a bit. The school is far away, and then she also lives not far from the school. So that's how we chose the schools.
Fantastic.
So again, a couple of years ago, I've kind of come back and also looked at Manipur again, and then we face a lot of environmental issues like landslides and flooding and stuff like that. And especially in hill areas like Kangpopi, you know, we are cutting down trees in big numbers, and people from the hills doesn't realize the impact that could be.
Okay, because of this deforestation.
So I really wanted to do something, and in Kangpopi we have something called Kangpopi Christian Church Hospital. It's a mission center. It was set up in 1918. So basically, I've given a proposal to them saying, "Oh, let's build a community park." Because a big town, there's no facilities for children to play safely. So it all started from there.
Okay.
So basically, my plan is to actually build a community park where kids can play safely, adults can go for a walk, the patients from the hospital can come down for a walk. It will be beneficial for their health and their well-being, and and then slowly move on from there to educating people in the area in terms of environmental awareness. So.
Okay. So, si mayam si sung sida, it gives me a kind of a feeling that at the end of the day or your life, you still want to come back here and sidige hoge na dum. So ultimate plan se kari no.
I mean, despite me being British, my heart is still in Manipur.
So finally, you plan to come back here.
Yes, one day.
One day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So much is happening in Manipur. A lot of negative things, but I'm very positive about Manipur. We have so much potentials, and I think I want to look at that. I want to look at the potentials of people from Manipur. We are very good at sports. We are very good in IT, doctors. There's so much we can do. The only thing we lack this trust.
Okay, so that's one of the issues.
Yeah.
We've run out of the time. So one of the major problem with us is trust deficit kickani. We but people like Gangte, Lian Gangte, they're there. Hope and the program main purpose the giving hope hope to thousands, in fact lakhs of unemployed people Manipur but nahasing yamna rocket science khangbugi darkar tade. If you're willing, if you're not lazy as Lian puts, mapan chatlaga thabak tawraga alternatively sarkar gi thabak khakta natabada isagi punsi ma semba yai aduga isagi mang prithvi koininga kasu koibi yai hebe potuni paisa yam paiba thabak yam chawba tawbagi darkar tade hebedu khungasi lianna magi punsi warida Woodley, thank you very much for sharing your life experience with our viewers. Matangasi da impact TV na puthok jaba Manipuri abroad diaspora speak losinjaba tare, but adongi karagumba mapan lamda thabak tawduna successfully tawun lairiba larik tamba chatkhiba karagumba laibiba taragati, you're welcome to contact us. We'll take them on. Ngasi ko na di matangasi losinjara. Thank you very much for watching us.